Well, that's true. My second question is, do you run a website somewhere?
Yeah, you can just get it for free if you want. You know, you can get it on Amazon.com, or if you don't want to pay any money, you can always download it on that.
Free is always better.
Well, they do it to our CD.
Actually, you know,
we don't even care.
I don't care
it gets our name out there. You know?
When people told me that, I was like so flattered, you know what I mean? Like the Metallica thing, I can understand their gripe, you know, they have a point. But when I heard that I was on there, I was like, man, that's fantastic, you know?
Hey, do you run your own website anywhere, like stupidpeople.com or something?
Not yet.
So you may have.
I have the domain name. That's the only stuff I
did. You own the name. You own BrianRegan.com.
Yeah, I spent the $75 or whatever it is to get the name, and that's about all I know how to do. It took me like 8 months to figure that out.
Cool, I'm gonna go get your stuff from Napster then. I'll talk to you later.
I don't think you heard the first part. Amazon.com. That's if you want to pay.
Matt, seriously, Tower Records usually has it in the comedy section. I've seen it there many times.
And Borders.
And Borders? Okay.
Borders? Oh, I never thought to look there.
It's a great CD. We play clips from it all the time.
Here's one of my takes on Napster that I heard. It's an upgrade. If you bought vinyl many years ago, and all of a sudden they changed the format of the music, and it is now it's not modern. The record player. So they put out new equipment, CD players. Why should I have to then pay again for the same music that I already bought on vinyl? So I am just getting the upgrade off of Napster for the music I already had.
These are like albums that you've had since the 70s? This is how you're talking yourself.
That's how I justify it. He doesn't want to buy, the Yes album.
I'm also all for food borrowing. You just walk into someone's house, you open their fridge and start eating and go, no, we're just sharing. I'm file sharing in your refrigerator.
Food sharing.
Oh, man.
So, Brian was telling us a little story about the emergency room during.
Yeah.
He was cracking us up.
I had to go myself. I had like the stomach virus thing, and it was 2 o'clock in the morning. My wife was watching Christopher, so she couldn't take me. I almost called an ambulance. And it's weird, well, it's weird considering calling an ambulance for yourself. You know, you always figure you call an ambulance for somebody else. What do you say about yourself? Can you come get me? Yeah, I don't feel so hot. Could you do the code blue where you don't stop for nobody? And just come on in, I'll be sitting on the couch rubbing my belly. You know, I'm just looking at the phone. I don't think you're allowed to call an ambulance for yourself. So I drove myself to the emergency room, which has to be a worse option. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I show up at the entrance, and they don't have any valet parking at the emergency room. If there's ever a place where they should have a valet parking stand, you know, if there's ever a time we want to go, can you park this because I need to collapse immediately? But no, I got to deal with, please take the ticket. You know, and I'm driving around this lot. Hey, can I park there? I think I'm going to die. I'm dying too. Okay, go ahead. I'll go up a couple levels. And it doesn't matter if you're driving yourself or somebody else. If you're driving somebody, you still want to hop out with them at the door. You're supposed to drop somebody off while you go park. You know, okay, you go in. Tell them you're shot. Ask them if they validate. You take care of the bullet wounds, and I'll handle parking. We'll work it out 50-50. And then, you know, I go in there at 2 o'clock in the morning. I would think that would be all they need to know to start doing stuff. The fact that you show up at a hospital at 2 a.m.
Right.
must mean, hey, he's here, start sticking tubes up his nose. What else are you showing up for? Man, I'm bored. I saw your lights on, and I was wondering, who's up for canasta? I got a hankering for some canasta like you wouldn't believe. But I gotta, you know, check in with the question they ask. It kills me. They say, what seems to be the problem? The seems part is so insulting. What seems to be the problem? Well, it seems like every hole in my body is exploding every liquid imaginable. That's what it seems like. But, you know, I'm no doctor. until it gets analyzed officially by one of your medical staff. In my own delusional world, it seems like there ain't no moisture left inside me. They put you in the bag in this room, you know. It's like they do a half room kind of thing with a curtain down the middle, with a mystery patient on the other side. You know, you just see the silhouette over there. What the hell's the matter with that person? I'm laying there, and that person over there is moaning, you know. I'm like, man, they're never gonna help me with him moaning like that. So I gotta out moan him, you know. He's like, I'm like, ah! He's cranking it up. Quit moaning! We're all hurting! It's the emergency room! They know this! You know, the nurses must just be running around holding their ears. It's got to be hell to work in this environment! And then they come in, and nurse is like, she asks, how you feeling? I said, you know, terrible, you know, you have like a painkiller. She goes, how would you describe your pain? What kind of question? Otherworldly? I don't know. It's hard for me to find adjectives that can cover this pain. She goes, well, how would you rate it then? How would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the worst pain? Well, you know, saying 2 ain't gonna get you nothing.
Right.
Oh, I'm a 2. Maybe the high 1s. If you could get me a baby aspirin and cut it in half, and maybe a Flintstone vitamin, and I'll be out of your hair. I don't mean to bother y'all with my low-level, flying beneath the radar screen pain level. I'm 10, I guess, you know. I was going to say 10, but I backed off because I had heard the worst pain a human can endure. I don't know if this is true, but I heard it was getting your upper leg bone, your femur bone, cracked in half. Oh. So I thought I'd better not say 10 because I didn't get my femur bone cracked. Then I was thinking, what was I worried about? Is there like a femur ward at the hospital? They'll hear about it and come hobbling into my room. Who the hell had the audacity to say they were out of level 10? You know nothing about 10. Give me a sledgehammer. Let me show you what 10 is all about, Mr. Tummy Ache. But I'm fine now. Hey, it ended up I had the sniffles.
Ah, the sniffles. The sniffles. What the hell is that?
After all that,
you know, you get what we call the sniffles.
The sniffles. You must feel like a moron at that point. Hey, Anthony.
What?
How do we know he's Brian Regan? I was just thinking over here. Someone is on the line saying they're Brian Regan.
Hey, now.
Brian Regan's calling in.
What is happening here?
You sure you're Brian Regan?
I always thought I was.
Pop down Brian Regan.
Brian Regan?
Hello?
Yeah.
You've got a phony in the studio. Screwed up a word, couldn't get it out correctly. Trying to do the word, but it wasn't working.
That is me.
Brian, the real Brian Regan was just in Vegas doing a little gambling, putting some money in some machines and getting coins to come out. The coins coming out just landing in my pockets, trade them in to get some dollars.
I didn't realize how simple my material was. So basically I could just say that I was thirsty and bought some water and then drank it. It was good.
That's funny.
We had to throw that in tonight, man.
Wait a second. The real Brian Regan would have done a joke instead of just saying stupid things like I did. The real Brian Regan would have had a bit. I just talked and repeated what I said until I made people angry. The real Brian Regan would have said something funny. I don't have that kind of material.
I don't know about that, man.
Hey, this is Frank Caliendo.
I would have guessed so.
Yeah.
How you doing, Frank?
I'm doing all right. I was going to keep being you for a second.
I blew it. I blew the whole illusion. How you doing, me?
You tore down the wall.
Oh, my, yeah. It's like you're in a play and you talk to the audience. Hey, what do you think? We're doing pretty good, huh? All right. I got to get back to talking to King Lear.
You just broken the fourth wall.
Yeah, right.
All right, Frank.
All right, Rick just gave me a call, told me to call in and mess with Brian.
No, very good
Frank,
job,
man. I think you nail it. If I can't make a gig, I'm going to call you.
Hey, Frank,
cool, man.
I'll be the short, fat Brian Regan.
Yeah, man, that's very flattering.
Hey, Frank, can I put you on the spot?
Sure.
Yeah, you got to do just like a tiny bit of Al Pacino for Brian.
Mr. Regan, my name's Al. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Listen, I was wondering how I could get into doing some comedy. The other day, I was thinking about back to my childhood, and you might have recalled.
Al,
losing them.
We lost.
But I'd be really good too. It's tough when you're driving. You know what I'm saying? Is anybody listening?
Yeah, we got you now, man.
Yeah, there you go. You got a cup of dirt. That's what I was trying to get to. Guess what, friends? It didn't work out.
That would blow my mind to see Al Pacino doing my cup of dirt. You got a cup of dirt.
It's a cup of dirt. A cup of dirt.
All right. Thank you, Frank.
Sorry, it wasn't that funny.
No, it was good. Your phone was crapping out on us.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So
good. Let's blame it on that.
And I look forward to hearing your John Madden one day too, man. I hear that's on.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Hey, someday that guy, when you and there you go. Sometimes you got a cell phone that works real good, and that means there's a tower nearby, and if you got a tower nearby, that's a good thing. And when there's no tower nearby, then it's a bad thing. And good things, as we know, are better than bad things. Bad things aren't as good as good things. Sometimes there's a good thing that can be a bad thing for somebody else, and that's not the best kind of thing for that person. But at least it's good for you. And when it's good for you and it's not good for them, there's good and bad. And good versus evil. There's the Garden of Eden, and that's the Bible. You probably read about that there. And Eve ate what gave the forbidden fruit there, and
bravo, Frank. Hey, Frank, thank you.
That's fantastic.
All right, I'll leave you guys alone.
Yeah, come see us soon, all right?
All right, we'll talk to you later. Thanks,
All right, Frank.
Frank Caliendo.
Man, making me
great,
howl.
Madden.
Hey, we got to back up a couple jokes. Jessica's a little bummed. She thinks the femur broken bone thing should be more than a 10.
10's the mostest.
She's looking too into your bit. Jessica.
This pain goes to 11.
Hey.
Hi, Jessica.
Femur, you said you'd rate it a 10. No, much more than that, my friend.
More than a 10.
Much more than a 10.
This is like that Spinal Tap episode.
Yeah.
10 is the most.
Well, why don't
Did
you
you
just make it
No,
more?
it's above the most.
You broke your femur, obviously.
Yeah, I split it in half and popped it out of my leg.
Nice.
Oh.
Okay, so that pain is 11. 11 across the board.
Yeah, I flipped the car. I'm damn proud of myself.
All right, Jessica, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's a big
Bye-bye.
bone to snap.
Yeah, that's the biggest one.
Yeah.
Lexi. Hey, Lexi.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, oh my God, Brian, you are killing me. Listen, it's daylight and kids are having birthday parties on my street, and they sort of wanted some ideas for party games, and we didn't know what to tell them. I don't know.
I would think maybe some pin the tail on the donkey. I think that's a great idea for kids.
Why is it? Don't you think it's kind of dangerous, though?
Well, no, I think, I don't know what people were thinking when they came up with pin the tail on the donkey. All right, we're going to have a whole bunch of kids over. We're going to blindfold one, give them something sharp, spin them around, and let them go. Go, Bobby, with the pin. Just run amok. What are those noises? Those are puncture wounds, Bobby. Stop. We made a horrible error. Or you could try musical chairs. There's a nice little anxiety attack for 7-year-olds. Only one kid can win. All the other kids are walking around. They're elbowing other 5-year-olds. How was the party? It was horrible. I couldn't get a chair and I got a pin in my neck. I don't want to go back to that house. I got a pin in my jugular. You said that would be a happy house. You said. So those are two options.
Yeah.
Kids,
That was a good setup by Lexi.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, the softball lob.
That's a quality setup there, man.
Lexi, we'll see you at the Caroline's
oh my
tonight.
God, I guess I could.
All right? All right, we're going to just let her go.
Usually people set stuff up by saying the absolute last part of the joke, you know. Do the thing where you say jugular vein at the end.
Yeah, right.
That's a surprise. Do that.
The big YOLO wants to sign. At least tonight when you possibly do that, you won't be shocked when everyone starts screaming and applauding like the first time.
I know, that was so flattering.
Why the hell are they applauding that much at that
I didn't
one?
realize at the time that you guys just pumped that up, man.
Yeah.
And I certainly appreciate the support, but I was like thrown for a loop because, you know, usually you do it and hopefully you get a little bit of a laugh. I did it that night and it was, people were like yelling, "The big yellow one's a son!" I'm like, what the hell is going on here, man?
The call phrase of the retarded.
Never had
It really is.
joke hit this nerve before in front of a crowd.
Yeah, that was strange, but
People are applauding and clapping.
man.
They had their lighters out like you started
I'm
a
honored,
Freebird or
man.
something. Hey, I got a setup for you.
Yeah?
Brian, I recently heard.
It's like reading it.
I recently
learned.
I
recently heard that you learned to play chess.
Nice setup. It's so
Is that
subtle.
good? Thank you. I got a talent for that.
I had a radio guy. I may have told you this before. Hey, I went in there and I had written down some topics. I said, you know, you can get into them if you want. If not, that's fine. He goes, "Brian, you wrote down here for me to ask you about dogs. Why, do you have some good dog jokes?" Oh, do I? Do I ever? I'm known for my funny dog jokes. Funny dog joke number 1.
Now just sit back and be entertained by my dog
and
jokes.
enjoy my dog jokes. But, you know, it's funny you mentioned this thing about chess, Opie, because
I just had a hunch, you know.
I have been playing chess. You know, the thing that's weird about it, it doesn't end. It doesn't end right. It doesn't end like it. There's no finality to it. You know, you're just looking at the board, and your opponent goes checkmate, and you're like, my king is still there. And he's like, yeah, but no matter what you do in the next move, I take the king in the following move, so it's a checkmate. And he's in the car heading home. No other game lets you do that. You know, you never see a quarterback coming up to the line. Touchdown! The way your safeties are playing, we'll do a slant pass underneath the coverage. Too much of a cushion. 6 points. Touchdown. Hey, why don't you score the touchdown, man? And then you get warned, which is, you don't see that in anything else either. In chess, before you ever get checkmated, you know, your opponent just goes, check, check. I'm sorry, what? What did you say? You're in check. You're in trouble. Oh, okay. Thank you. I wasn't aware, but now I am. You don't see that in foot. You don't see the linebackers, you know, just talking to the quarterback. Hey, we're blitzing. What? He's doing a safety blitz from back in there. I'm sneaking in right here between the center and the center and the guard. Oh, okay. Hey, block him. Thank you, Mr. Linebacker. I had no idea. One of the only jokes where I whisper. I go from screaming jugular to whispering linebacker. Get a pin in my jugular! Thank you, Mr. Linebacker. Sound man's going, would you just pick on a volume level, ho-ho? Because I'm back here scrambling. You're all over the place.
All right, well, let's take a break. We'll be back.
It's Whip 'em Out Wednesday. We tell you how to get a wow sticker, but we can't plug the website.